A step back in the path to reopening San Diego. Bars have been ordered to close once again starting tomorrow night at midnight as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in San Diego County. And this comes less than 3 weeks since bars were allowed to reopen. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. We have team coverage tonight. We begin with our ABC 10 News reporter, Anthony Pura. He's in Normal Heights with a bar owner who is once again making plans to shut down.
We spoke with a co-owner here at the Old Sod in Normal Heights. They had just reopened on June 12th. Now they are getting ready to close their doors again. When the Old Sod reopened 18 days ago, it put in place rules for face coverings, social distancing, even put barriers to separate some spaces. Co-owner Mick Ward says they were making the best of the new normal.
We're doing everything really that was asked of us, more and more. It's just devastating 2 weeks later to be back at square one.
On Monday, San Diego County officials ordered bars, breweries, and wineries that do not serve food to close on July 1st. It applies to the Old Sod, which does not have a kitchen.
We've got to contact all our vendors, all our salespeople, cancel all our incoming orders, all our liquor and beer orders. More importantly, we've got to contact all our staff, who are the best staff in the city, and tell them that, once again, they don't have a job to come to.
On the same street, the Rabbit Hole serves food and will get to stay open, but the county is reinstating an order for restaurants. Alcohol can only be consumed with food orders, and customers can only eat and drink while seated at a table.
As far as us, we're a restaurant with a great bar scene, but it's not really going to impact us at all, except for we're losing some seats at the bar. I think it's great for our staff that are a little apprehensive coming back to work because of COVID. And it's going to create a better environment for them. The county order is in effect until further notice. Ward says the longer the closure, the more it will hurt financially.
If we get back in towards fall and we're in the same situation we're closed for 3 months, it's going to have a devastating effect.
The county is also pausing any further business reopenings until August 1st. In Normal Heights, Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
The state ordered bars closed in 7 California counties, but San Diego County is taking this action on its own, based on local data ahead of the 4th of July weekend.
San Diego County's rollback is affecting not just the business owners, but also their employees who just got back to work a few weeks ago. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to employees from one bar that just officially opened this weekend.
I did, and now they are expecting to close their doors, and for some that means changing their unemployment benefits once again.
These pictures were taken just days ago at the grand opening of Serpentine Cider's second location in University Heights.
I literally just put up the now open sign yesterday, so I'm going to have to take that down.
The cidery delayed their opening back in March and now will likely have to close because they don't have a food license. This is video of their first location in Miramar.
My worry right now, my concern is my employees and trying to keep the business afloat.
Zachary Sanders is one of those employees.
It's more just the day-to-day of not knowing what my schedule is going to be like next week and how much am I going to have to petition to unemployment.
Sanders has been having to modify his unemployment as things reopen and now close again.
That's been, tough to just kind of navigate and make sure that I'm doing it right.
Serpentine Cider is open for takeout orders, so Sanders will still have some hours, and he hopes people will follow the rules to get the business back open soon.
People coming in know that I'm doing my best to keep them safe, and I would love for that to happen as well for me.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
The Kona Kai Resort and Spa on Shelter Island says 2 guests tested positive for COVID-19. In a letter, the general manager says both individuals contracted the virus off property. They are in good condition and have also been quarantined off property for an extended period of time. All staff who were in contact with either person were notified immediately and required to undergo extra health screenings. The resort underwent a deep cleaning.
And here's a look at the latest numbers. The county announced 498 new coronavirus cases today. That's a new one-day record. That brings our total to 13,800. There were no deaths reported, so that total stays at 361.
High praise from California's larger school districts for a historic compromise to save the upcoming school year. The superintendents of several school districts, including right here, San Diego Unified, had called for more state funding to help with the cost of reopening and the impact of learning loss. These measures were included in the final state budget, which Governor Newsom signed today. And now the districts are calling on the federal government to fully fund the upcoming school year.
Well, so far, San Diego County has not seen any outbreaks tied to recent protests. That's according to County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. In a tweet tonight, he says those include past protests to reopen and the more recent Black Lives Matter protests. The outbreaks have been tied to bars, restaurants, house parties, offices, social clubs, and other related activities. Fletcher added, if the county does find a connection between the protests and an outbreak, it will be reported publicly. And our neighbor to the east is also going backwards. With cases spiking out of control, Arizona is now closing its bars, movie theaters, gyms, and water parks effective tonight. Arizona's Governor Doug Ducey is also delaying the start of school. For now, the order will be in effect for a month. Los Angeles County also announced it will be closing its beaches over the 4th of July weekend. That includes Venice, Malibu, and Zuma beaches.
More than 125,000 people in the United States have died from COVID-19. As local officials around the country try to get a handle on the virus, several hospitals are reaching capacity in the ICU. Doctors are pleading for people to take the pandemic seriously.
There was a lot of wishful thinking around the country that, hey, summer, everything's going to be fine, we're over this, and we are not even beginning to be over this.
The governor of Texas has ordered bars to close, saying he allowed them to reopen too quickly. And as the 4th of July approaches, there are fears that some states will be overwhelmed with outbreaks.
Now for a developing story, activists are demanding change in response to video of San Diego police shooting a robbery suspect downtown over the weekend. Police say Leonardo Ibarra tried to pull a gun on them. He's now in critical condition in the hospital. Our Team 10 investigator Jennifer Castor looks at what activists say police did right and what they did wrong.
I'm asking for SDPD to put an aggressive plan together to ensure that any officer involved shooting, that within 48 hours to 72 hours, a video from the body-worn camera footage is released.
A call Monday by Reverend Shane Harris for added transparency measures surrounding San Diego law enforcement following a violent weekend encounter. Body camera video released Sunday by SDPD shows the moment leading up to Saturday's shooting. Police say they were patrolling downtown when they saw Leonardo Hurtado Ibarra in a red jumpsuit and recognized he was wanted for robbery. In 6 seconds, words led to gunfire.
Hey, come here, buddy. Stop. Second, please stop. Hey, let me see your hands.
From this street camera, Ibarra is seen reaching in his waistband and raising his arms toward officers. Under Ibarra, body camera footage shows what police say is a gun wrapped in a bandana.
They went in guns blazing, and this is not the training that they have.
Activist Tasha Williamson said Monday police should have called for backup before the confrontation.
People are saying he pointed the gun at the officer, and we're simply saying, how is that? Because the officers on video shows him running sideways behind the suspect to a cover, which was the vehicle.
They used verbal commands, they followed what their training is, and they did an exceptional job.
Sunday, ABC 10 News spoke to former SWAT commander and lethal force instructor Ray Shea.
And it's unfortunate the gentleman was shot. But you'll see that the police officer, after shooting the suspect and getting him handcuffed, immediately calls for an ambulance. And here these two young officers are doing CPR to try and save the life of the man that just tried to kill them.
Williamson and other activists now urging police to release videos of future shootings as quickly as they did this time, and to release videos before still images.
We want a whole perspective of a situation, not a half perspective.
Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
We also asked San Diego police about the calls for reforms. We are waiting to hear back. Police say the weekend shooting is still under investigation. The officers who were involved are on paid administrative leave, which is standard protocol. Now this afternoon, ABC 10 News also spoke with a woman who said that she is the love of Leonardo Ibarra's life. Abril Huerta shared these photos of her with Ibarra. She says he's 25 years old, and she said that he loved her 3 children with all of his heart. Abril also said, quote, he loved his family. He was the most loyal individual you could ever meet.